Do you remember being a kid and getting a new coloring book and a new set of crayons? That was an amazing feeling, wasn't it? But one of the worst feelings in the world was accidentally coloring outside of the lines. I used to hate that so much. I would feel like even if I got just a little bit outside of the lines, my whole picture was ruined. A lot of times I feel like this is the way we look at our life with God. We look at some of our past mistakes, we look at some of our past failures, and we start to be defined by those things. We think that, man, the entire story of my life, the entire picture of my life is ruined because of what I've done. So I want to pose a question to you. How do you deal with regret? How do you deal with regret? The Bible has an amazing solution to regret, and that's this idea that God doesn't just forgive us, He rebuilds us. In Jesus Christ, the Bible says that we are being made into a new creation. The old is gone and the new has come. You see, God's not just in the forgiveness business, He's in the restoration business. He's taking our lives and He's taking all the things that's happened in our past and He's taking all those, putting it together in Jesus Christ and rebuilding us into a new creation, a creation after His own image. If you've read any part of the Old Testament, you'll know that the people of Israel started out with a lot of promise. But by the end of the Old Testament, you'll find that the people of Israel turned out to be devastated by sin, to be decimated by the consequences of their sin, and ultimately living in regret of all the mistakes that they had made. But God told them something that He tells us today, and that's to fear not, for I am in your midst. I'm going to do something more amazing in the future than I've ever done in your past. And that's what God does in Jesus Christ. He is so powerful that He takes all the mistakes that we've made in the past, all of our failures in the past, all the what-ifs of our past, and He takes those and He makes something new in our lives in Jesus Christ. God is doing something in your life today. That is a promise straight from the Bible, straight from the lips of God Himself. And so something I want you to encourage you to do this week is I encourage you to join a local small group. Whatever church you're a part of, join a local small group, and here's why. I found that I deal with regret the most whenever I'm walking life alone. Whenever I'm alone, whenever I'm isolated, I find that's when I'm usually most prone to living in regret. I start to think about past mistakes I made, I start to think about the what if I had only type questions, But whenever I'm walking with a local group of believers and I'm hearing their stories of what God's doing in their life, it actually helps me see what God is doing in my own life. And so I encourage you, find a local group of believers, find a local small group, and join that group and join your story to their stories. I think as you do that, you'll find that God is weaving together all of our different stories in Jesus Christ and telling the greatest story ever told. I hope that you live in wonder this week, and I hope that you believe that God doesn't just forgive, He rebuilds.